Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in this video today, we're going to be talking about a report per Mike Garafolo that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will interview former Dallas Cowboys and Los Angeles Chargers offensive coordinator Kellen Moore for their offensive coordinator vacancy on Monday. This is a very interesting interviewee, in my opinion. I have always had a respect for Kellen Moore as an offensive coordinator since he started in this role since I believe 2019, and I wanted to go over how he has done in the league and just give an overview of Kellen Moore as a whole. Firstly, Kellen Moore is a former player. He was a quarterback for the Detroit Lions and the Dallas Cowboys. He played from 2012 to 2017. He was undrafted in 2012. And look, in terms of a quarterback, he didn't play a lot, folks. He had only 104 attempts on his career, 4 touchdowns, 6 picks. But the overall accolades were there in college football. He was a 2-time quarterback of the year, 2-time first-team All-American, 2-time WAC Offensive Player of the Year, MWC Offensive Player of the Year, WAC Freshman of the Year, 2-time first-team All-WAC, first-team All MWC, and second-team All-WAC. He played college football at Boise State. And so he has accomplishments as a college player. He got so many different types of awards in college football. In the NFL, not so much. But where it gets interesting is that literally immediately following the end of his playing time with the Dallas Cowboys in 2017, the Cowboys actually brought him on as the quarterback's coach in 2018, where he would work with Dak Prescott throughout his time in Dallas. He was the quarterback's coach in 2018, was then promoted to the full-time offensive coordinator and play caller. That is an important distinction to make from 2019 to 2022. And I wanted to go through how the Dallas Cowboys did during those times. So in 2019, it was Jason Garrett's last year. They would finish with an 8-8 record. I do want to say that Kellen Moore was the play caller. And in terms of points for the Dallas Cowboys, averaged 27.1 points per game, 6th out of 32 teams for points for around the league. You take a look down here at the overall offensive statistics. The Dallas Cowboys, in terms of passing, I guess I'm going to have to come up here to the overall team stats. In terms of passing stats, in terms of passing attempts on the league, they were offensively ranked number 10. In terms of passing yards, they were ranked number 2. Passing touchdowns ranked number 5. In terms of rushing attempts, they were ranked number 8, rushing yards ranked number 5, rushing touchdowns ranked number 7. All of this to say that in terms of points for, they were 6th. In terms of total offensive yards on the season, they were number 1 in Kellen Moore's first year as offensive coordinator and offensive play caller. They were number 3 in terms of first downs offensively on the year as well. So first year in 2019 for Kellen Moore was fantastic. I think that overall that went great. What got really interesting in 2020 was Mike McCarthy was brought in as the team's new head coach after the firing of Jason Garrett. Mike McCarthy was a very accomplished offensive coach in his own mind back with the Green Bay Packers, and he decided to keep Kellen Moore on as offensive coordinator and as offensive play caller, which does not happen very often. I talked about this in a separate video, the rarity of even a guy like Thad Lewis staying on an offensive staff as a quarterback's coach. The offensive coordinator and offensive play caller staying the same from one head coach to another head coach is very, very rare, and I think speaks to the level of ability of Kellen Moore. So you keep on going down in terms of points for. Things took a bit of a dip. They were 17th in points for on that year, 14th in yards offensively that year. In terms of passing, it was still very good. 2nd in passing attempts, 8th in passing yards, 19th in passing touchdowns, big dip from the year before. And then, the numbers dipped: 15th in rushing attempts, 17th in rushing yards, 21st in rushing touchdowns. The offense took a bit of a dip in Mike McCarthy's first year. That is certainly notable there. In 2021, things shot right back up for the Dallas Cowboys. Kellen Moore was still offensive play caller, still OC. The Dallas Cowboys won twice as many games in McCarthy's second year than in his first year, 12 games in 2021, only 6 games in 2020. And boy, oh boy, the offense was eaten. I mean, number 1 in points for, number 1 in yards, second in passing yards, 6th in attempts, 3rd in passing touchdowns, even rushing, they were crushing it, 12th in attempts, 9th in rushing yards, 17th in rushing touchdowns, but 8th in yards per attempt. It was a great offensive performance there. I mean, Dak, 37 touchdowns, 10 picks, was absolutely cooking. Again, another successful year for Kellen Moore. Finally, in Kellen Moore's last year with the Dallas Cowboys, he was still offensive play caller. 12-5 record. The Cowboys were 4th in the league in terms of points for. Passing took a bit of a dip, 14th in passing yards, 19th in passing attempts, 9th in passing touchdowns, 4th in points for, which is still very good, 11th in total yards offensively. The rushing went back up. You had 6th in rushing attempts, 9th in rushing yards, and 2nd in rushing touchdowns. So what I'm seeing here is a lot of good success from Kellen Moore. That is the honest to goodness truth, folks. Be it passing, being running, you had a lot of success with this Dallas Cowboys team, with this Dallas Cowboys offense, Kellen Moore being at the forefront of that. Again, Dak, 23 touchdowns, 15 picks isn't great, but you know, you take a look back at that 2021 season, Dak was eating. The entire offense was just eating a good amount, besides 2020, where Kellen Moore put up some fantastic stuff. I do want to take a look at the situation with the Los Angeles Chargers. Things took a big dip there for LA. They were 21st in points for on the league this year in terms of points. This is the current year, 2023. 18th in yards. Passing offense was still very good. 3rd in passing attempts, 13th in passing yards, 16th in passing touchdowns. The rushing was bad. 24th in attempts, 25th in yards, 20th in touchdowns. But there's a lot of factors that go into that. Justin Herbert still had a decent year, all things considered, but you had Easton Stick going out there, playing and starting in 4 to 5 games. Austin Eckler does not seem like he's the same running back that he once was, and I just know that the Chargers also had some struggles along the offensive line. But overall, given the circumstances with a 5-12 record, I would argue that it was more so on the defense than the offense in terms of why the Chargers struggled this year. But even so, I would say this one year with the LA Chargers shouldn't take away the entirety of what Kellen Moore did with the Dallas Cowboys. I think that Kellen Moore should be a strong candidate for the Bucs OC position if they do want to hire from the outside, because we've seen him have success with a guy like Dak Prescott. We've seen him have success with an offense like the Dallas Cowboys, and I think that he can have success with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and with the Baker Mayfield situation, with the Buccaneers offense. I think there's a lot of good things that you could see Kellen Moore do. So he's an interesting candidate. I think that I would be all for it. And yeah, overall, not a bad situation at all, in my opinion. So Kellen Moore is going to interview on Monday. I want to know your guys' thoughts and opinions about this down in the comments section below. Are you happy to see him interview? Do you not want to see him be the OC? Let me know your thoughts. I would not mind at all if Kellen Moore was the offensive coordinator for this team. But again, guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Hope you all enjoyed. As always, guys, I'll see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.